Keep Going by Edgar Albert Guest, 1881 to 1959. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, and every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about, when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up though the pace seems slow, you may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup, and he learned too late when the night slipped down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are, it may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit, it's when things seem worst that you mustn't quit. Okay, this is a poem by Edgar Albert Guest. He was born in Birmingham. When he was 10 years old, he moved to Detroit. He became a naturalized American in, I think, 1902. He got a job with the Detroit Free Press, and he worked there for most of the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. He wrote poems which were printed in all sorts of newspapers, and he became the poet laureate of Michigan. He had a radio show in the 1930s, and even an NBC television series in 1951. His poems were always these upbeat, happy, motivational poems that motivated people to keep going, not to give up. So keep going. Well, that's the idea of this poem. This poem says keep going. Don't give up. Don't stop. When things go wrong, don't give up. Keep trying to the end, because you don't know what's going to happen to you. You don't know how close the end is. Don't give up. Keep trying in your endeavours. So when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, so when things go wrong, and sometimes things will go wrong, it's inevitable. When the road you're trudging, when the way you're going, when what you're doing, it seems all uphill, to trudge, to work, to walk, because you're tired. And funds are low and the debts are high, so you haven't got much money and you owe money everywhere. And you want to smile. I'd love to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. So if everything's against you, if you've got loads of cares, then keep trying. Rest if you need to, but don't give up. Keep trying. Don't give up. Keep going. Life is queer with its twists and turns. Life is strange with the different things that happen, as every one of us sometimes learns. So we don't know what's going to happen in life. Life has twists and turns, and what you think is something is actually something else. And many a failure turns about, when he might have won had he stuck it out. And very often a failure failure suddenly becomes success. And if you just stuck it out, if you just continued doing it, it wouldn't have been a failure, you would have been successful. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. So even if it seems that you're making really slow progress, you're never going to get there, you're never going to do it, don't give up. Keep going, keep trying. You may succeed with another blow. A blow is another strike. So I have this image of somebody hitting something, and they're hitting it, and they're hitting it, but nothing moves. And then they hit it once more, and it moves. And the whole thing is successful. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. So maybe the finish line is a lot closer than it seems, because if you're faint, if you're tired and you're faltering, you have difficulty continuing. Very often the goal, the finish line, is much closer than it seems. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. So very often people who've been trying and trying for ages, finally they give up. And they would have been successful, they would have captured the victor's cup if they just continued. They just continued trying. And he learned too late, when the night slipped down, how close he was to the golden crown. And very often the person learns too late that they've given up, and then they discovered that they were really, really, really close to succeeding. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. And these two lines, this is referring to the phrase, every cloud has a silver lining. So even if you've got a cloud that looks grey and bad, if you turn it inside out, you actually see the silver, the good things. So there are always good things within things that look bad. And success is if you take failure and turn it inside out, and then you will see the silver lining, and it'll be a silver cloud. Yeah, you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems afar. So you can never tell how close you are to the finish line, how close you are to succeeding. And it may seem as if it's miles away, but in reality it's very close and you don't know it. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. So when things get to their worst, keep trying. It's when things seem worse that you mustn't quit. So when things are absolutely at their worst, that's not the time to give up. Because very often when things are at their worst, this is the point where you're going to win if you keep going. So, yeah, a motivational poem by Edgar Albert Guest. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Keep Going by Edgar Albert Guest.